Next, we're going to switch gears and talk about Shohei Ohtani. Because Shohei Ohtani, I'm glad that he got some love yesterday. Because I feel like people are a little ho-hum on Shohei because he didn't have the postseason that they had hoped he would have. The regular season, it was historic. The postseason, he had his ups and downs. He gets injured in Game 2 of the World Series, has the subluxation that turned into a ligament damage, and then he had the surgery on his shoulder. But yesterday, I think it was cool because he got that MVP love. And yesterday, it was revealed by the BBWAA that Shohei Ohtani is a finalist for the National League MVP award. Spoiler alert, he's going to win. And you also have Francisco Lindor and Ketel Marte. I would be furious if Shohei doesn't win this award unanimously. And yes, he will be the first player to win the MVP in both leagues since Frank Robinson did. But I got news for you. Next year, he's going to be the first player to win 2 MVPs in both leagues, right? He'll have 2 in American League and 2 in the National League. As long as Shohei Ohtani is pitching and hitting, he should be the MVP every single year. Now, Shohei is going to win this award, and I think it's important that he did have the year that he had in the regular season. Because one thing starting to piss me off is him not getting the credit for this World Series. Oh, should he get credit for this World Series as far as his legacy? Yeah. Hey, Shohei, definitely go put World Series champion on your resume. He should have done that right after, because without Shohei Ohtani's historic regular season, without his home run against the Padres, look, if he doesn't hit that 3-run shot against Dylan Cease, they could have gotten swept. I truly believe that. He's the one who got the double in Game 1 that set up the tie on the Mookie Betts sac fly that led to Freddie Freeman's grand slam. The pressure he puts on opposing pitchers. And I think it's actually good for the Dodgers that he didn't have his best postseason if you had to pick one, right? If you had to pick one of the 3 players to have their best postseason for the Dodgers, you would want it to be Freddie Freeman in the World Series because he's towards the end of his prime. Let next year be Mookie's World Series, and then let the year after that, it could be Shohei Ohtani's World Series, right? That's how I look at it. But let's take a look at his ridiculous 2024 season, because now that we've had time to process it, it feels even more ridiculous now. So let's look back. He signed as a primary DH, wasn't pitching. The question was, could Shohei Ohtani win the MVP without pitching as a primary DH? Because it had never been done. Well, if he were to do that, he would have to do something special, something extra special. And what he did was completely exceed anyone's expectations. And it was a year of milestones. On April 21st, he hit his 176th career home run. He passed Hideki Matsui for most home runs ever hit by a Japanese player. And then he becomes the 7th 40-40 player in baseball history, the first time for the Dodgers. So he becomes a 40-40 man later in the year. And you look at his 40-40 season compared to some other players. Before this season, the most home runs and stolen bases in the same year was A-Rod in 1998. And that was with 42 home runs and 46 steals. Shohei had 54 home runs and 59 stolen bases, obliterating another record. And then he has the first 50-50 season ever. Most stolen bases ever in a 50 home run season before Shohei in 2024 was 24. And that was done by Willie Mays in 55 and A-Rod in 2007. So Shohei more than doubled that. So that was a record. I mean, you go deep into it. He had 99 extra base hits. That was the most in Dodgers franchise history. 411 total bases. That was the most in Dodgers franchise history. 134 runs scored. That was the most in Dodgers franchise history. And in fact, those extra base hits and total bases, that was the most for any big leaguer since 2001. He also set a new Dodgers franchise record with 54 home runs. He surpassed Sean Green's 49 from 2001. He had 59 steals. That was the most ever for a Japanese-born player. Ichiro had 56 in 2001. So he made history, absolutely rewriting the record book all season long. And he also had some adversity. I mean, it feels like 50 years ago, but his longtime interpreter, Ipe Mizuhara, he lost more than $40 million on sports gambling. They investigated the matter. You had people saying that Shohei Ohtani was Pete Rose, then he was betting on baseball, and the Dodgers should have bet on him and this and that. Well, guess what? He vehemently denied it. I was there at Dodger Stadium. He came out there. He vehemently denied ever having any knowledge of Ipe gambling, ever have betting on baseball. He did not bet on baseball. He said as much, and the feds got involved. When the feds get involved, that's when you got to take it very seriously. And a federal investigation revealed that Ipe stole $17 million from Shohei. And Martin Estrada, the U.S. attorney, he said, I want to emphasize this point. Mr. Ohtani is considered a victim in this case. So all the conspiracy theorists out there, all the tinfoil hat wearers, some very credible people in the game were trying to act like Shohei had bet on baseball. The feds got involved. You think the feds are covering something up for the Dodgers for Major League Baseball? If they did that, then wouldn't they have done it a long time ago when they popped them for steroids? Come on, get out of your mom's basement. That wasn't the case here. And then on June 4th, Ipe pled guilty to 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of tax fraud. And MLB, they closed the investigation. By the way, Ipe is getting sentenced on December 20th. That should be interesting. So, yeah, I mean, the truth is, Shohei, he graduated, man. Anaheim was his high school, and then he's in college, and then he's graduating from college to something graduate school and then to real life, right? He gets married. He plays for a World Series contender. He wanted to come here to play for the team that could help him accomplish his ultimate goal of winning a World Series title. They accomplished that. They did that in year 1. He led the National League in WAR, F4, home runs, RBI, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, WRC plus. He had 310, had a 390 on base, a 646 slug, hit 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, had 130 RBIs, scored 134 runs, had a 181 weighted runs created plus, had a 9.2 RWAR and a 9.1 F4 as a DH. He's going to go down as the only DH ever to win the MVP. So let's take a second to appreciate what Shohei Ohtani has done for the Dodgers and this organization. Make no mistake about it. All these runs they've had, all these players they've had, first time with Shohei, they win the 162-game World Series, and you have the parade. And what really blew my mind, kind of the big takeaway for this season was, man, I know he was a good base runner. I know he was fast. But when he really started to turn on the stolen bases midway through the season, I don't think anyone could have predicted that he was going to get to 50. I was looking at the numbers this morning. The Dodgers were halfway through the season in late June, and at that point, they had played at 82 games. Through 82 games, he had 16 stolen bases. He was on pace to set a new career high, which was previously 26, set 3 years prior. But he had 16 through 82. He would go on to have 43 stolen bases in his final 77 games. It's insane. It was just insane. And then on August 23rd, he hit his 40th home run and 40th stolen base in the same game. So that was incredible. And the one knock, too, on Shohei was the runners in scoring position. Could he come through with runners in scoring position? He had some low points during the season, and then he figured it out. From September 19th to the NLCS, he was 18 for 23 at one point with runners in scoring position. He had that go-ahead RBI single against the Padres in the clincher on September 26th. He had the monster game that we'll talk about here in Miami. He also played 159 games in all 16 games in the postseason, playing through an injury. So, look, Shohei Ohtani, it's mission accomplished in year 1. But if you're a Dodgers fan, you kind of feel good about the fact that he knows right now. I know for a fact that Shohei Ohtani is happy about this World Series, but he knows that he can play better and perform better on a bigger stage. And I guarantee he's such a fiery competitor. He holds himself to such a high standard that I guarantee you that's eating at him that he didn't think that he was at his best in the postseason. But what did Shohei say before the year? He said, there's a lot of reasons why I chose the Dodgers, but one thing that really stands out in my head is when I had the meeting with the Dodgers, the ownership group, they said when they look back at the last 10 years, even though they've made the playoffs every single year and won a World Series ring, they consider that a failure. When I heard that, I knew they were all about winning. And I think Shohei Ohtani is going to have that same mindset looking back at his postseason. That I won a ring, but I know I can be better. I know that there were some at-bats that I might want that swing back. But still, I mean, the standard is so high. The standard is so high for him that it was a combination of, look, he had played a lot, the way they were pitching him. It was clear that the opposing team were saying, we're not going to let Shohei beat us. Anything but letting Shohei beat us, and he still had a massive impact. Now, in the postseason, it was very different, right? He had stolen 36 straight bases, and he didn't steal one in the postseason. He was caught stealing in both of his attempts, and then he goes 1 for 11 after the injury, and then Shohei had surgery on November 5th to repair that torn labrum in his left shoulder. Now, it's expected to not impact him in the lineup early on, and the good thing is it's not his front shoulder, so it shouldn't sap him of his power like we saw Cody Bellinger for a few years, but it is going to impact his rehab with his pitching, and it'll most likely push him into May, probably. I mean, they're going to push him back until after opening day for how he looks on the mound. But look, the Shohei Ohtani experience was everything that I had hoped it would be and then some. It was box office every single night. It was appointment television. I mean, we have the graphic on the screen, 138 days until Shohei Ohtani's batting. When have you ever seen that? Incredible stuff. But thank you for watching this clip from Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show on YouTube, where we cover everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. To check out new episodes, go to youtube.com/DodgersNationTV Monday through Friday in the mornings, and be sure you're subscribed to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. For all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, interviews, giveaways, and more, you're going to find it right here at the #1 channel for your boys in blue. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.